Hey folks, today we're going to be making a multi-sample bell instrument from a pot. Logic CXS sampler just got a new coat of paint and some quality of life improvements, so I'll be using that to implement the instrument. If you want to use contact or live sampler, most of what I'm showing today will apply. You probably have a pot or a mixing bowl in your kitchen that makes a cool noise, so go rummage around your cabinets and start banging on stuff. Once you've found something, be sure to experiment with your choice of striker. For my pot, I chose a plastic spoon, but the attack was too harsh. The beauty of sampling is the thing doesn't have to look pretty, or even like an instrument, it just has to sound good. So I taped a rubber glove to the end of a chopstick to approximate a mallet. When I went about recording the pot, I knew that I wanted to get multiple velocity layers and enough takes for round robins. So I just kind of hit record and went. Once I had my finished recording, I put it in RX7 and did some noise reduction. Anytime I do any sampling, I start by just roughly cutting the samples up into individual regions. Now I'll just go ahead and move the start of each region to the first transient in the sample. As I'm working, if I come across something I don't want to keep, I'll delete it at this stage. Since I was a little more loose in my recording for these samples, I need to now retroactively classify each hit as to what velocity layer it belongs to. So I'm using 4 different layers. The duplicates within each layer will be round robins. Since I set the start point of all of these regions to the first transient of my sample, I can change my snap mode in Logic to be division and then pull them all back by an equal amount. In this case, I've got it set to 16ths. Because if you trim them here, it's kind of like giving yourself a haircut. You can take off too much. So my pot rings out at a close to an A note. So what I'm going to do is assign these to the root pitch just as I bring them in. And you can do that by kind of changing where you drop them. If you drop them closer to the keys, it will narrow down which note. And then if you've got multiples, it's going to stack them according to velocities. Right now I have no groups and no zones, so I'm just going to drag in the first of each velocity layer. And then once I go for the next ones, I need to first click away from this first group. And now when I drop in more samples, it'll be in its own group. And we use the groups to achieve our round robin behavior. Now I'm going to go group by group and just verify that the velocity layers are correct. And I think I got lucky because it just automatically assigned them properly, as you can see here. And now we're going to set up our round robins, so we need to show that in the columns. So I'll switch each group to on, and then I'm going to set them all to be in cycle A, so that they each trigger after one another. I tend to set the start points of my samples just manually one by one because I end up spending less time fiddling with things than if I try and be really fancy and punch in the start point. So it takes a long time, but I end up happier with my result. One thing I'll do is set the zero crossing snap mode so that my start point here is going to be locked to a zero crossing. That'll avoid any pops and clicks. Now all that's left to do is to stretch my zones across the keyboard to have the sampler alter the pitch based on what key we press. So I had recorded these at 192K, thinking that I'm gonna basically I was planning on using just the pitched down versions. I thought that would sound really cool, but it really doesn't. I don't particularly like the way this pot sounds pitched lower. I feel like you lose the definition of the note. So I kind of did that for nothing, I guess. I am liking how it sounds pitched up, which is the opposite of how I normally feel about things. Hey folks, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I know I didn't go into huge detail on any of the individual parts that we went through, but leave a comment and let me know if there's anything you'd like me to get more in depth with. I've been looking at the piano book thing, and it's super cool. Like, everybody posting all kind of awesome instruments, so hopefully I'm going to post this. I just need to check out their specifications and whatnot, and make sure I'm following their guidance for submissions. And I probably will make a contact version for that. So I think for now on my channel, I'll probably do some more sampling projects. I've got some percussion that I've just created with household items and some percussion instruments. And so I think I might do that next. And yeah, so anyways, stay tuned and don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell. First video, blah blah. It's weird to talk to a camera. So I taped a rubber glove to the end of a mallet nope.